Well, hello y'all. Welcome back to the Shop 411. Southern Homesteading Outdoors and Preparing. It's been a while since I made a good video, and there's been a lot of reasons why, because everybody knows everybody else in the world is busy. Everything's getting more and more expensive, so you got to work 10 times harder to afford things you normally needed. And I had just gone on a spending spree of trying to fix my boat up so I could get back into commercial fishing in a way, and I got an idea for a business that I want to start that involves outdoors, and it involves having that boat. Plus I want to get back into some physical work, lose some of this gut that I got, because that's gotten out of control. I used to not be like that when I did a lot of physical work, a lot of commercial fishing, and kept myself in shape. So what I did, and y'all seen the videos in the past where I took the I started bringing the boat back into shape where it should be, and I always had this this idea that I was gonna fix that boat and make it exactly how I wanted it. And I knew I was going to need to spend some money to do it, and I was going to need to get a good welder and hire someone to spend some money on it. And I can weld a bit, and I even thought about maybe training myself how to do aluminum welding, but I didn't want to learn on my own boat, and I really wanted a good professional job. Well, I went on an adventure to try and find someone to weld this. First thing, most welders suck at being people. I swear. You cannot get someone to call you back. There's no reliability. There's no on time showing up. And I went to the most reputable welder around here, and I live in southern Louisiana on what they call the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain, and he's one of the best ones because of reviews and what I've seen about his work. And I went to him and I said, I laid out the job, and he flat out said, I don't want the job. And I was like, why not? I mean, I'm gonna pay for everything. And I asked him, I said, can you give me a roundabout target? And he was kind of cocky. He was even like arrogant, like, your job isn't worth my effort. And he goes, well, it'd be between $5,000 and $10,000. And I'm like, man, that's a kind of a bull crap estimate. Yeah, 5 and 10, that's a lot. If it's $9,995, that's a whole lot different than $5,005. I mean, you're kind of looking, is it closer to 10,000 or is it closer to 5,000? Something like that. But he said, all right, give me the thing. He goes, well, what are you looking to pay? And I was like, well, I'm not looking to buy you a new car over it. I mean, it's not that big of a job, but it's big. I figured I was going to pay anywhere between $7,000 to $8,000 for the really good welding job. Well, I gave him the layouts of what I wanted, and the next day he called and he just said, I don't want your job. Like, kind of cocky. And I was like, well, I don't want you doing it, asshole. And I mean, people in this industry, sir, I don't know what has happened to customer service in any way, shape, or form. I mean, the only place I see customer service is when someone's gonna get a tip out of you. Then they start acting nice. So, I went on a journey to try and find a welder. I went and I called every welder in this area that I could find. Everyone that had an advertisement or somehow you could get in touch with, and there's some way to get in touch with, and the same story over and over. I'm too busy right now. Sounds like either it's too big of a job, I don't want to take it on, or I'm overwhelmed, I got too much work right now, I'm out of town. I got this other job. I won't be able to get to it for a long time. Even when I said that, I was like, well, how long? I'll wait. Well, I'll get back to you. No one ever gets back to you. So I finally found one person. I called him up and he goes, yeah, I'll take the job. Sounds great. I was like, wow, all right, good, man, wow. So we talked it out. And at first, everything I said, he sounded like, yeah, I get what you say, and I see what you say, and I didn't even have to show him the layouts. He understood. Well, you know, he's like, yeah, I understood. He would repeat it back like he understood what I was saying. I was like, dang, man, he gets it. So we went through the first part of the job, and the first part was to put the post up so that I have a very specific way that I want to lay out the tarp. It's my own design. And it's real hard. No, a lot of people just don't understand what I'm getting at when I say I want to do this. And I wanted to give it to a tarpaulin guy, a guy who does boat tops, and let him do the whole job. And he just didn't understand it. He was like, why don't you just do this? And it's like, I don't want that. They all say the same thing. When I say I can commercial crabfish, they want to do the traditional type of commercial crabfish fisherman tarp, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I have a different idea. Listen to what I'm saying. They get frustrated because if you don't take their idea, well, then you're just stupid. You know, you don't know what you're talking about. But this guy said he understood it, and when he went to putting it up, it kind of, yeah, the layout was a little odd. He messed up here and there, and then his estimate for products was way off, and I paid him. And I was like, okay, I just paid way too much for that. But the next part of the job, I was like, I'm going to make it up on the next part of the job because I'm going to talk to him about. He came back with a quote, and his quote was off the charts. And I was like, where are you getting this quote from? This is ridiculous. The amount of products was twice the amount of products that was needed for the job. He was quoting so much other stuff. And I was like, you got too much products. And too many sheets of aluminum, and some of them aren't right for what they're supposed to be. Like, do you understand the job? Yeah, I understand it. I understand it. This will work. I said, it ain't gonna work for me. I said, this is too much. So he said, wait a minute. You mean can you wait? I can get the products from somewhere else. And I was like, well, of course I can wait. I've been waiting 10 years for this. I can wait a few more weeks. He goes, well, then let me get the products from somewhere else where it's cheaper. I was like, wow, really? So he did that. The quote came in much cheaper than the original one, and it made me feel good because it was a little bit less, and so it kind of made up for the over estimates for the products for the first job, and the first job really wasn't that great. It's alright. But we went into it, and he starts doing things, and I'm going to be finished in 2 days. This will only take me 2 days. And I was like, wow, you're good. Well, 2 days went by, and then it was, the material was barely cut, much less put into place. And I was like, well, whoa, I mean, 2 days and you're not even there. I was like, look, and he wanted money. So I was like, okay, I'll give you a little bit. And I gave him some money. And he welded some plates. He had and then I gave him a little bit more money. Sooner or later, I had paid him over half of the labor fees. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I mean, this guy is way not ready, even close to being finished. And I paid him way too much already. That's my stupidity. I trust people a lot. I give people the benefit of the doubt way too much. Way too much. And I trusted that this guy would be able to do this job. And I'm going to show y'all what this job looked like soon. You're gonna really, people are going to think I'm an idiot for even paying. So anyway, he started tacking things together and getting stuff looking at kind of okay, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's kind of falling out like this, but the progress was so slow. And then here it comes. Oh, this job is so much bigger than I thought. I didn't realize how big this job was. And I'm like, how can you bid on a job? How can you take a job and not know how big it is. You're a professional according to everything you say in this world about what you do, and you said you could do this. This would be easy. 2 days. Now it's like 4 weeks, and we ain't even halfway there. Of course, you said at that time all he had was 2 more days worth of work. It's always 2 more days. So jump ahead and look. Every time I have to go see him, I have to take off of work early, which means money out of my pocket. So I'm losing money and paying money. Losing a lot of money because I have to go. It's a lot of traveling, a lot of bringing my boat back and forth and stuff like that. Because he couldn't keep it. His shop, something he said it burnt down. He was out of a storage facility where he had to rent places. So anyway, I told him. I said. He said, I'm gonna take your boat for a week, and I'll be finished. You'll be on the water with your boat finished by that next weekend. I said, great. That sounds wonderful. He takes it. I hear from him about Thursday. Man, I'm almost finished. I'm working on it. I'm gonna need a little bit more money from you. We went a little bit over cost and all of this, and I was like, well, I kind of expected to hear we went a little bit over cost, so I prepared for that. But at first he said he went over a lot, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, first off, he got the wrong sheets of metal and started putting those down, and then had to get some new metal. That's not my problem. He ordered the wrong stuff and cut it. And then, didn't order the right stuff. Even now at the end, y'all gonna see, even now at the end on the big door in the middle, he should have had a bigger piece of aluminum. And I went, long story short, he wasn't finished at the end of the week. So I went on a hunting trip that I had been planning. I hadn't had 2 days off of work in so long. I finally had some days off of work. And he wanted me to do nothing but come over there and help watch him do work on my boat. Because I think he started getting nervous that he just couldn't figure things out. He really could not figure out how to make it finish it. So I came back. He said, I will be finished by the time you finish your hunting trip. I'll be finished. I came back. I got to the place at 7:30 that night on my way home from that hunting trip. And he was waiting there. I gave him a little bit more money for working on it that day. I should not have done that. I was a fool. But I said, there's about $500 more hanging out on this job. And I'm not giving it to you until it's finished. And I kind of knew I was never going to see this guy again. He said, I'm going to come to your house and finish it. He has a mobile welder and all that. He can weld on the run. And I was just like, I don't know if I want him to. I don't know if I want to give him any more money. I'm already so stupid for giving the amount of money that I gave. It's horrible. I have to pay a guy probably the same amount as I paid him to do what he did, to fix what he did. So anyway, long story. To get to where I'm at now. So this is where I'm at now. I'm going to do it myself. I've amateured welded steel. I've always wanted to learn how to weld aluminum. A lot of guys around here, they teach themselves. They work on their own boats. It's just the way a lot of commercial fishermen do. Some of these guys, you know, if they can do it, I can do it. If one man can do it, I know I can do it. I can learn. It'll take time, but I will learn it. It's an art. It's a trade, but I'll learn it. So I went on and I started on Good Friday, and I looked up researching welders and different kind, and this Yeswelder, this 205ds, was the best deal on the day. I was looking at Arc Captain, some other names that out there. There's so many different names, but this one really stood out. I was thinking I should have got the 205 Pro, but this was such a sweet deal at $269, less than $300 for a welder. But you got to buy a lot of other stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this on out. It had some damage right here, so it looked like a forklift went through right there, but it even got some dirt on it right here it's on the cushion, but it don't look like the machine is damaged any. But we're gonna take it out and find out. And looks like this is the gun, the MIG gun, and probably whatever hardware. So there we go. Right there, but that's not. It looks like where someone might have. Alright. I'm excited to be learning how to do this now. Because now I won't ever have to worry about. I just get so mad when people take advantage of you. And I felt very taken advantage of. So, it comes with a cord, and it should have an adapter because it runs 220 amp 110. Let's see, those scissors would be best to cut that little tie wrap. Must rest welder for 2 minutes when switching from 110 to 220. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. They have a. No, they don't have a chart. I was hoping they would have a chart on it, but they don't. Maybe they got one in here. So. Let's see what comes with the rest of it. It has on here 1 MIG gun. I'll do this with that graphene liner. That's all I'm gonna use. This welder fuzz. Doing aluminum. That's it. 1 power cord adapter. So that should be it. That adapts, you plug that in and it adapts for 110. 1 electrode holder, 10 foot. That should be this right here. Well, that's the work clamp. This is the electrode holder. So the stick welder. Okay. 1 gas hose, 8 foot. And look, I even got my gas right here, y'all. I got the gas right there, so I'm ready to rock and roll. See if I can get there. And 1 wire feed roller. A W, a U, and a V. Good. So we have quite an assortment of included utensils. So one thing else. So something else I bought to go with this, a number of things. I bought to go with it, I bought a TIG cord, a TIG gun, TIG torch. So I could try and teach myself how to TIG well. And to go with all of that, I got some 5 pounds of 3/32 ER 4043 welding, aluminum welding rods. I got 53 5336 coming in. I got some 5356 rods coming in. They haven't come in yet. But for the spools, I'm going to try and get it welding with the MIG gun. I'm going to try and put that graphene liner in. I got some 5356 0.035 inch 0.9 millimeter welding wire for the MIG gun. I also have 2 rolls, 2 spools of 4043 welding wire, because you know, different alloys for different processes. Some of the aluminum on that boat is 4043. I know that. With most of it, a lot of it's in the 5086. I forget what it is. It's the marine version. I have the. Okay, let's put all of this aside. I got a regulator here that I bought for the gas tank, for the argon gas. So this is all new. Don't drop that. This is all new to me. So I'm gonna have to figure out how this all works. Well, I tell you, something's making some noise outside. I'm gonna have to go see what's going on outside. I am hearing racket like I ain't never heard before. I gotta go find out what that is. I'll be back. So y'all, I'm gonna show y'all why I decided to do this deep plunge into the world of aluminum welding. That guy, just, it's really disappointing to know how much money I paid for someone to do a job. And you got stuff like this, because this latch won't work. He didn't figure out how to make that, weld that latch properly, like how to put it in and have the hooks on the bottom properly. So you put this in like this to keep it down with this makeshift whatever. I can't even get it to go in anymore. It's not even lined up right. Anyway, that's what he used to make that stay down. Same here. Oh, this one broke off. Look at that. That weld broke off, so that's not even holding that down anymore. Ain't that just wonderful? Ain't that just wonderful? So that one's not even holding it down. This is how the hinges, he put the door on backwards. And I told him, you got the door on backwards. That's not the way I wanted it to open. He flipped it around, and then he put the hinges on backwards so the door couldn't come off. So instead of reinstalling the hinges right, he cut the hinges and put these little makeshift hinge pins in. And oh my God, that's so trashy, so trashy. The welds, this wouldn't pass a 3rd grade art instructor teacher's welding class if they had such a thing. So it's so bad. I mean, look at this, stitch welds. Look at this. Not even, the whole thing ain't even welded. That's going to come off because of stress. That's a hinge. So, that ain't even going to last. Nothing's cleaned up. Nothing's finished. These are all, this will rip your skin open if you run your fingers across it because it's like razor blades. I mean, the metal is there. It's in place. But not worth what I paid for that. And I'll tell y'all right now, I paid many thousands for it. I gotta kind of clean the sticks out of this. So, the way I wanted this to work, I wanted to be able to have a deck, a full deck to fish off of. And in case a wave ever come over, it wouldn't go into the bilge. Most of it would shed off. And just to have a bigger platform to work off of. So, when he put this in, you know, this is all good until you get right here. And you hear that. That right there, it's on and I can use it, but it ain't facing right. It's supposed to be angled more in. The trolling motor is 72 inches long, and it's now, the way he's got it facing, it's going to be hanging off the end. He didn't quite get that right either. These poles, look at that. I mean, you run your hand on top of that, you're going to rip yourself to pieces. No finish whatsoever. Again, walk on here. Hear that? I mean, can you imagine going fishing and hearing that over and over when you walk? I mean, it's nice that you can walk the whole deck. This is what I wanted, but no fit and finish whatsoever. So I'm gonna have to look at it. You know, I told him on the back, first he put the flags on upside down. He drew the picture right when he showed me what he was going to do, but he put them on upside down. Then he had to cut them off and put them on right side up. And I told him, I said, hey man, I had a little piece about 3 by 3 on the end of the flag so that I could use to screw through to put the tarpaulin up to raise it so that when it goes to the front, it'll miss the top of this pole, because it's gonna, the top front one's gonna come here and the back one's gonna attach here, so they overlap. And I can take them down. You'll see the convertible I can make. But I'm gonna have to redo all of this. I'm gonna have to cut all of this. All I need is just maybe about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches, and then I don't need all of this hanging off. I just need a little bit. And it would have been nice if it would have been welded onto here, but that's all right. I'll fix it. So, same thing on this side. And then when he put it on this side, not only is it wrong, but it's facing this way. I'm going to take them out and I'm going to make them to where they face out a little bit. That way I get full coverage of the boat from the top. So I got to do that. So let's go ahead and jump on down. I told him cut that out in here. And that's how he cut that out. That's what he cut out. So I'm going to have to get in there and cut all of that other aluminum out so the rods can go to the front. Look at that hack job. Same on the other side. These goofball pins. And see how, oh my God. So, I'm gonna have to use both hands. So, same on this side. That's the cutout. That is ridiculous. That's the cutout right there. I mean, he almost, mother effer, he almost got into my hull. Well, I'm gonna have to go under there and look. Anyway. Look at this. That is horrible. Alright, y'all. This is going to take me a lot of work to fix. This is going to be nightmarish. This was supposed to get cut. Oh, that's another thing. This was supposed to get cut off, but it didn't. So again, I don't know if the camera was running right when I was showing y'all this, but this is how this door works. Comes up like that. Look at this hack job on here. Look at this. What is this? What was welded right there? Just hitting it with the welder? I don't know. Yeah, right. And then grinding, almost ground through the entire length. No welds up here. On this side. This is just, this right here serves no purpose for strong back right there. I kind of have an idea what I'm going to do to fix this, but it's just going to be a game of wait and see to see if I can't. Look at these grounds where he put the hinges on backwards. Then where the overlap wasn't right, so he had to put a piece of aluminum down because it didn't fit right. None of the welds on the bottom are finished. Again, it didn't fit right here, so he put that trim down. This is horrible. Well, the good thing about it is this just pushed me to learn how to do something that I'll figure it out, and for the rest of my life I'll have that ability, and I'll be able to fix stuff on my own or rebuild stuff on my own. I'll be able to do stuff on my own. I won't have to worry about hiring someone. People who don't want to work, people who say they can work and can't. Ridiculous these days what we got to deal with. What we have to deal with. All right, y'all.